So in the earlier part, we tried to do about the non-inverting amplifier, non-inverting amplifier and then the inverting amplifier. The different parameters such as the gain, the what you call input impedance, output impedance, and the bandwidth for the feedback case, right? When we use feedback in case of the inverting and non-inverting amplifier. Now, the topic here is DC and AC amplifiers. Now, DC just means that it is direct current. That means the input is just the what you call constant value. AC is a what you call input which is having some frequency of the signal. Here there is no frequency, here there is a frequency. So when we come to that DC amplifier, the difference will be, the output offset voltage is a bigger issue and it should be reduced to 0. We should somehow reduce it to 0. To reduce it, we need to adapt, offset null circuitry, or sometimes what is known as the external offset voltage compensating network. Either the offset null circuitry or you can use the external offset voltage compensating network. Okay. Otherwise, if you don't want to use that, then you should use high precision op amps, which is mu A714 in place of the 741 IC, and this will have the offset voltage very, very small compared to the earlier one. Small offset and drift currents are there in high precision op amps, and you can use them directly without doing that. Otherwise, if you use the normal 741 IC, then you need to use the output voltage, offset voltage, and the compensation or offset null circuitry, either way. Okay. So let us consider the figure corresponding to that DC amplifier, and then we'll go for the AC amplifier. So this is DC amplifier. So you can see that where is the input here? Input is given to the R1, that is for minus. So this should be the inverting amplifier, right? Here it is the non-inverting amplifier, right? This is the, again, the what you call both combined together, inverting plus non-inverting, which is known as the differential and sometimes difference amplifier. The combination of both of them is considered as the differential or the difference amplifier, wherein the value is of V0 is RF by R1 with a minus sign multiplied by the difference between the two signals, Vx minus Vy or V1 minus V2, whatever you call it. Vx minus Vy are the values at inverting terminal and the non-inverting terminal respectively, and you will get this expression. This can be always derived. And the compensating circuit is what is important for us. This is the compensating circuit used in all the three cases. Same compensating circuit. Okay. Middle point 4 is connected to the center point of the potentiometer. This is a potentiometer connected between 1 and 5. All the places between 1 and 5 you have the potentiometer, and the center point, the variable point, is connected to the what you call potentiometer, or to the point 4. And under that condition, we will have the value over here. This can be varied in such a way. This can be, potentiometer point can be varied in such a way that when no input is given, the output turns out to be 0, and that's nullifying the input offset voltage and output offset voltage both together. Okay, that is about the DC. We don't have, this is all DC amplifier, right? Now, when you come to the AC amplifier, we see that, okay, when we come to the AC amplifier, we are worried about how the performance of that circuit will be when we have low and high frequencies. So under that condition, we will try to put a coupling capacitor. AC amplifier always has a coupling capacitor for the say, for example, in a radio receiver system, we have number of stages, and because of thermal drift, component tolerances and variations, the DC level is produced. And to prevent the amplification of such DC levels, you can use the coupling capacitor. So coupling capacitors are there just to remove the DC levels from the AC signal. But because of the coupling capacitor, we will have the limitation of the low frequency cutoff limit, which will turn out to be FL is equal to 1 by 2 pi Ci RIF plus R0. So this is the standard value. This formula has to be remembered. Now, this again gives you the offset nulling in a different way. Okay, there we are giving it between the 1 and 5, the resistance and all that. Now we are using a separate resistance with plus VCC and minus VCC and RB and RC. This is again for the DC case only, not AC. Please remember that this is for the DC case only. Only that you are connecting an extra circuit over here or extra circuit over here, depending upon whether it's a inverting amplifier or a non-inverting amplifier. Okay. All that is shown here. Again, for the difference amplifier is shown here. Now, these circuits are for the AC. So you are having a bypass capacitance here. Again, here a bypass capacitance. The rest of the thing remains same. This, and all that. And again, for the difference or differential amplifier also, we will have the same values. Only the capacitance value will be different here. So you have again the same nulling circuit over here. Okay. So bandwidth can always be found as FH minus FL for the circuit here. So the high frequency cutoff FH or high end of the bandwidth depends on the closed loop gain of the op-amp. And from this, the overall bandwidth BW is equal to FH minus FL can be calculated. So gain for the inverting amplifier we know, gain for the non-inverting amplifier also we know, and using all this, the values of the capacitance and all that, we can try to find out the bandwidth and such different issues. Let us see the example for this. So here we have Rn equal to 50 ohms, Ci is equal to 0.1, R1 equal to 100 ohms, and Rf is equal to 1 kilo ohm and RL is equal to 10 kilo. So we need to supply voltage plus or minus 15 volts, determine the bandwidth of the amplifier. So RIF is equal to R1 is equal to approximately 100 ohms. 100 ohms is R1 here. The source resistance Rn is equal to R0 is equal to 50 ohms. Rn is 50 ohm. R0 is also considered 50 ohms. So the FL value will be equal to 1 by 2 pi into the whatever value of capacitance we have got here. 0.1 microfarad will be 10 to the power of minus 7. 100 plus 50 will give us 150. That will give 10.6 kilohertz. So having found that, then we can find the AF value, which is minus RF by R1 for a inverting amplifier, and that will give us the value 10. And the high frequency cutoff will be equal to FH is equal to UGB by multiplied by K divided by AF. UGB is 10 to the power of 6. K is 1 by again 1.1. That is 0.909 divided by 10, and that will give 19.9 kilohertz. Difference between FH and FL, that is 90.9 kilohertz minus 10.6 will just give us the 80.3 kilohertz value. So with this, we come to the end of the what you call DC and AC amplifiers. The other part we will take it up in the next lecture. So if you have any doubts, you can